Solovey, 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 Solovey. The white voice, the gorgeous white voice of Ukraine's group Go A. They're getting an A from me. Should we review their song?
Let's do this.
What sometimes folk music, or rather traditional music, can be so beautiful that it's divisive, and I think that may be the case now. The beauty here for me is undeniable. It is soulful. It is harking back to the ancient Ukrainians in the fields talking to their nightingales, and this Nightingale, she is taking flight. She's singing the song about loving a man and not knowing what to do. Secrets, deception, love, fear, hope. It is all there, and with modern production. They're taking that folksy white voice and updating it for 2020, much like Tulia from Poland several years ago. In any case, Robin, where do you fall on the love-hate divide?
I'm kind of in the middle. There are some things I like about the song and other things that I'm not so fond of. I like the revamped version of the song better because the first version, there was a lot going on, especially during the end. There was this kind of rock guitar and the white voice and all the electronica, and it became quite full-on and messy. The new version, it has a more sympathetic mix. You don't get all these different sounds fighting for attention. It's more balanced. At the same time, for a lot of the song, I actually like the instrumental bits more than the vocal bits. And it's not the white voice. It's just that the instrumental bits are really, they have a lot of character and they're very kind of moody and relaxing to listen to. And I just like that. But you know, it's the Eurovision Song Contest. It's not the Eurovision Instrumental Contest. So, you know, the whole song has to work. And so for me, I like parts of it. I'm intrigued to see how it would have been performed live at Eurovision because I think that could have elevated it. But yeah, I'm just I have mixed feelings.
Do you know what? For me, this is an absolute masterpiece.
Yes!
It's not, you know, people easily brand it as Eurotrash, but actually, if you look at the lyrics, you look at the sound, the structure, it's like a traditional folklore Ukrainian song, but with super modern beats. Like, it's not just some random lyrics, some random melodies, some random singing styles. They really thought about this. And I think it really comes together. And for me, it's super powerful. For me, the flute is like a calling to my soul. I hear this flute. And I'm just taken to the spirits above. And you feel the spiritualness. It's almost like a witch's spell being cast over Europe. And I think Kateryna, if that's her name, she is an absolute star. She's got this kind of ghost dead look at the camera the whole way through. Her vocals are completely otherworldly. They are so folklore, so not pop. Yes. And for me, this is just pure magic. It's not like anything else in the lineup this year. You know, this is Ukraine at their best. I think the past few years they did struggle, you know, slightly underwhelming entries. Obviously Maruf was banned last year, but I mean this is just wow in your face. It is divisive, but I mean I'm lapping it all up personally. Love it.
I hesitate to ask Devin for his thoughts because if looks could kill, I think you'd be dead. Devin.
First of all, I mean, I love you all to bits, but I really don't know why you've invited me to this video because my opinion on this song was documented in my first reaction at VidBeer. Anyway, so I'm going to just focus on the revamp. But here's the thing, you know, if you fly an airline with a poor safety record, which has a hub in a derelict airport and doesn't have any sort of creature comforts and has a sort of like an average of 9 hours delay, per flight on almost every flight. It really doesn't matter if you're flying first class. Yes, I get it. So this revamp, yes, it is better. But, gathering flowers to make a wreath and then going to kind of pick some periwinkles and add it to this. And listen, here's the thing, Miss Goe. No amount of libation and voodoo is going to save this. Ukraine has a 100% qualification record, and that was clearly at risk this year. This would have been the year that Ukraine wouldn't advance. Nightingale, my heart feels no joy again. How about my ears? Let's just start with my physical body parts. Forget my heart. How about my ears? Tulia, which this sort of sound, this sort of white voice is often compared to, it sounded much better. And it still went down in flames. And then there's this, boo, almost doesn't count. I can't deal with, we came 11th or 12th. We didn't see it on Saturday's show. Girl, it does not count.
I will wait.
So, on paper, this is more ambitious. It's got this ethno vibe. It's got, it is an ethno song, but it's got this electro vibe, and it's got flute, and it's got some really exciting drums, but it lacks cohesion. And even on the lowest dial, it still sounds too loud. I don't understand how this...
He's attracted to the white voice, forgive me.
Oh, it's awful. It truly is awful. I think they've been confirmed for next year. They really do need to work on their sound, because I actually went listening to their back catalogue. They have a hit called Vesnyanka. Again, almost unlistenable. She's the act that does not need a microphone. Just make her project into the TV. Oh, I'm over it.
I don't even know where to start with that, but I will say this. Tulia's white music came 11th, I believe, and there was rumors of a miscalculation that could have seen them through. Point of story is they were on the fence, and I think that this act from Ukraine is a bit more modern. They went for a deliberate mix of retro and modern, and it really came across well. She was a peacock, yes, but a peacock at Paris Fashion Week, going to the grunge bar afterwards, okay? This was a modern peacock singing a traditional song with modern production. Her drummers were very now. Did someone have an eye patch? There were tattoos, there was leather, there were lights, there were so many lights. I just think, you talk about going down in flames. No. My queen was turning up the heat. And you know what? Sometimes when you take a risk, you do go down in flames. However, I think she would have erred on the right side of caution. So sheets to the wind, but sailing those sheets into the final. These analogies don't link, but I'm going to pretend they do. Let's go around now and give our scores out of 10, along with a justification and a prediction, starting with Robin.
Okay, I've given this 6.5 out of 10. I don't quite connect with it, but I actually think it would have qualified. Like William was saying about Tulia, that was a borderline qualifier. I think this is better than Fire of Love, and it would have at least pushed over that line, and probably would have done it reasonably better than that. It would have taken Ukraine to the finals, and that would have been good for them.
For me, it's a 9 out of 10. It's something we've never seen at Eurovision, and nowadays, when so many songs are trying to be so generic and please everyone, it really stands out and gets its appeal by just trying to appeal to people that like Slavic folklore. And you know what? I think that certainly the Eastern European juries will have really appreciated her really strong vocals. And Ukraine would have pulled off a crazy visual show. So I think top 10. I think it would have finished top 10 and absolutely would have deserved it.
Since when has Eurovision ever been about vocals? I can list 5 vocal standouts that didn't even make the cut. You know, I'm just so sick of this contest kind of just being home to like shouty. I mean, it's like that Eldrine from Georgia back a few years ago. Da, da, da. I'm just over it. I just need you to sing and to emote. And it doesn't need to be screechy or shouty. And it needs to be somewhat marketable. You know, this is the one track I would have been guaranteed to skip on the Eurovision CD. It's not necessary, it's not needed. And given the fact that Maruth could have possibly won Eurovision 2019 had she taken part, this is deeply disappointing from a country that has given us 2 winners and lots of like top 10 finishes. This is just like, this would not have actually qualified. Actually, I'm almost certain of it. It was just so divisive. And it wasn't like, and the one act we can compare it to, borderline miscalculation. Honey, if you come first to 7th, there's no miscalculation. It wouldn't take you out of the, you know, let's just keep it real. Are we down to scores yet, or we're going to talk more about this?
Score.
I'm giving this a 3. And it, you know, it's a 3 on a good day. Trying to see the merits of this song.
I think they're very brave to go with something so Ukrainian. You know, Eurovision should be about hashtag celebrate diversity, and that is what they're doing. I also just want to comment on her steely presence, her look. You know, it is as if she's going to murder you through sound. I'm sure Devin would have something to say about that. But I appreciate the intensity, l'intensité that is present in this. I just feel she's taken over me. Woo! I just love this. My score is a 7.5. Now, we of course are not the only Wiwi bloggers. There are more than 24 of them, 36 of them, a lot of them all over the world, all ages, America, Colombia, France, and beyond. And the overall global average across all these people, calculated by Miss Robin Gallagher on this call, is 6.6. It's a little low. I'm sorry. I think that this, when you send something so artistic, it can often be divisive, and I think that this fell on the wrong side of divisive for a lot of people.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm just so happy I'll never get to hear this song. You know, I wasn't looking forward to it. And I didn't see anything artistic about it. You know, when you start looking at things like a wardrobe choice, actually, the band, I think actually the styling worked for me. And they kept changing that from semi to the final to, you know, but really, you know, the song itself, no, does 0 for me. Actually, works in negative value. How about that?
The thing is, Devon, there are some countries that can pull off divisive. Romania can pull off divisive. Ukraine can pull off divisive. Moldova can pull off divisive. You just wait until you saw the stage show in Rotterdam. You would have been blown away. You would have loved it. You're wrong.
You know what I really love? When Eurovision fans deconstruct an entry. How long is this video already? I mean, like, deconstruct it to the point where I'm thinking, honey, it's not a presentation. It is a competition. It's not going into Eurovision as a standalone piece. It is being it's fencing off other entries. There's no way this could be anybody's favorite. I'm sorry, say what you want. There is no way. And jurors that would respect this still won't put it in the top 10. How about that?
Well, that's what we think. What do you think? Would you have put Ukraine in your top 10? Do you think this could have won its semi-final? Do you think it could have qualified from its semi-final? Let us know here on Wiwi Blogs.
And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos.
Don't forget to give us a like down there.
Go slay on our social media platform. And we will see you later.
Bye.
Bye.